Hello friends, welcome to the session on training today as a part of human resource management. Myself, Professor Bharti Sundar from Department of Management Studies, STM College of Engineering and Technology, Dharwad. What is training? Let us first try to understand that and then we'll move on further. So here I have discussed a lot of times about training here in your classes, but today let us try to understand it more in detail. Why actually this training is given and how it is being given in the organization. So what is this training? Training basically is a kind of a program which is given to the employees of the organization so that they can improve their knowledge, skill, abilities, and competencies, which can really help them in uh, giving more output for the organization. So for that reason, these training programs are being conducted. This training is just cannot be given as like that. It has to be planned very systematically. The objectives of the training has to be decided, and then what kind of training program and for what reason has to be conducted has to be decided, and then this training program can be planned. So this, as defined here, training is a planned program designed to improve the performance and bring the measurable changes in the knowledge, skill and attitude and also the social behavior of the employees, as already explained. So this training actually increases the knowledge, skill as well as the competencies which are required to do a particular job in the organization. It mainly focuses on the individual job rather than the organization. How one employee can perform in his job. So that will be the focus of the training program here. The reason why is just like every drop of water can lead to a big ocean or a sea, here also every contribution of an individual will literally make a lot of difference for the organization as a whole performing. So it concentrates on individual employees, how to improve their training, how to improve their skills, how to improve their competencies, how to improve their level of knowledge regarding that job. It gives more importance for short-term performance and not for long-term. Right now, he is able to perform the job, that's it. So that will be the main focus of the training program in the organization. The training program will help the organization to get some benefits. What are those? It increases the production, it decreases the mistakes in the organization because employees are already performing here, they are already trained on the jobs. It leads to greater job satisfaction because the employees are knowing the job, they are able to perform better, they get appreciation, and that leads to job satisfaction. And when they know the job, they will not have they will not find any difficulty to stay back in the organization and work. So lower turnover is what you can observe where training is thoroughly given in the organization. It helps the recruits, especially the new recruits. New recruits are those who have newly joined the company to perform the assigned tasks very effectively. TCS is one company, sorry, Infosys and TCS are few companies which give lot of importance and they spend crores of amount just to provide training program for their new recruits. Especially if we take an example of Infosys, it has a state-of-art training center in Mysore where every employee or every student who gets selected for Infosys through campus recruitment, he has to go there, take the training of around 3 to 4 months, and then come back and join the jobs. So what they do there, they basically upgrade that this new recruit through the latest requirements of the market, and then at the same time culture training is also given to them, communication skill training is also given to them, and then they are put back into the jobs. By doing so, what happens is it becomes easy for the new recruit to adjust to the new conditions and perform better. It helps the existing employees to prepare for higher level jobs. Here, it is actually not training, but as a kind of a training, we call it as developmental program. So these developmental programs are something which is given for existing employees or experienced employees. So for what reason? Because they can upgrade themselves. They already have the skills and talents, but they have to upgrade themselves for the higher level jobs or maybe promotions in the organization. So for that reason, developmental programs are conducted for existing employees. It enables existing employees to keep in touch with the latest development. Of course, every employee should know what is happening around them. Every employee should know what is happening around in the market, so that it helps the organization to cope up with the changes at the same time to be in the competition in the market. So the employees are the one who actually execute the whole plans or tasks. For that reason, they should know what is happening in the market so that they can prepare themselves accordingly. It permits the employees to cope up with the changes brought in by frequent transfers. See what happens. Let us say there are a group of employees who are at different positions working for an organization. If one employee is transferred or he is left the job, who is going to take up his responsibility is a question mark. So at that time, what happens if any other employee is trained on that job, it is easy for that organization to replace the job with some other employee, with job vacancy with some other employee. So by doing so, the day-to-day routine activities or work processes are not hindered or are not disturbed. So for that reason, there is a kind of a training program which is called as job rotation training, where every employee has to know the every job in the department wherein they are working in. So by doing so, what happens if somebody has left, if somebody is absent, if somebody is transferred, there is always another person who can take up that particular task. It also makes the employees more versatile. They are highly more skilled now, more mobile, that is kind of adjustable, more flexible in nature, and also very useful for the organization. It bridges the gap what the employee has and what the job demands, and allows the employee to gain acceptance for the peer group readily. See what happens if the employee is not able to perform when he joins the company, even the other people or the peer group, so-called peer group who is already working with him, they may not be able to accept him because he is giving poor performance. But the same employee, if he is trained well and he is put up in the job and he is able to perform from the day one itself, of course, the peer group will also be impressed and they will readily accept the employee. So for that reason, training is being given or provided to the people in the organization. And today, this training is being given so much uh, stress that companies are spending crores together of rupees just on ensuring that the training is provided thoroughly and rigorously for their new recruits. Let us understand what is the difference between training and development. So as I told you, training is more given for new recruits. Development is given for experienced people. So these are kind of training programs only, but as just to be specific upon, training is more given to the new recruits and development is more given to the experienced people, especially at the managerial level, supervisory level and such that. Training is more job specific here, and development is more future oriented, preparing the employee for the future. So let us look into few dimensions where you can differentiate between training and development. So what is the training and development meant for? Training is actually meant for operative functions, that is skilled laborers or people who are working in manufacturing units and shop floors. But whereas developmental programs are more concentrating towards executives or managerial level people, team leaders or supervisor level people who are having the ability or who are having the power to take some decisions. The training is gives more focus towards current job, but whereas development, it also looks into future jobs. So in future, what changes are going to happen for the organization, or what kind of changes is going to come into the market. So the employees are being prepared for such kind of challenges in developmental programs. Training is more individual specific, but development is more work group specific. That is, the whole group is being given such kind of programs wherein they try to develop them and make them be prepared for the future. Let us say if some software is being newly implemented in the organization, the whole group has to be trained how to use that software. So that is a developmental program. The goal of training is to give fix current skill deficit. Okay, is to fix the current skill deficit. So whatever skill is not being observed in the new recruits, such kind of skills are being provided in the training programs. But whereas developmental programs, the employee will already be having those skills. Now is the challenge where the employees have to meet the future work demands. Training is more initiated by management, but whereas development is initiated by individual who decides what kind of skills and competencies he requires to be prepared for future jobs. The content of the training program is very specific in nature, very focused on job related information only. But whereas development is very general in nature, where even the employees are leadership uh, prepared for leadership skills as well as problem solving and decision making abilities. So here they are trying to prepare them for future. Training immediately is given to the new recruits who join the company, but whereas developmental programs are just for experienced people and it is always long term in nature. So these are some differences you can find between training and development. Remember friends, training is for new recruits, development is for experience. Training is for operative functions, development is for executive functions. So this difference you don't forget between training versus development. Now let us look into the difference between training versus education. So we already know what is training. We'll try to understand what is education now. On the other hand, it is a kind of a person-oriented, theory-based knowledge which is imparted to the employees of the organization, maybe even the students who are going to or wish to join such kind of organizations in the near future. That the education is more conceptual in nature rather than practical in nature. Okay, so this is the main difference which you can find between training and education. So what are the issues which actually the training process or the people who are into training department actually face? So here is the list which we'll try to see into. Here is a checklist for avoiding the training pitfalls. If you want your training to be successful, try to follow the rules which I'm going to tell you now. You should never attempt to teach too quickly, because what happens is there are slow learners, there are fast learners also. Let us say in your own class, if there are 60 students, let us imagine, out of that 60 students, not all students will be able to understand in a single go. So for some people, you may have to repeat the theories or concepts. Okay, so some people learn fast, some people learn slow. It does not it is never linked with the intelligence of the person here. It is just a matter of how fast and slow they learn. So never try to teach too quickly, because it may not go into their heads. They may not be able to cultivate those skills and competencies very fast. Never try to teach too much in one single go. Okay, then view all the trainees as the same. Never try to differentiate among them. Never be biased, never be partial to some trainees whom you may be very much impressed with. Never do that. Always try to give very lot of time to practice. Let us say you're teaching them computers, right? If you are teaching them programming language, you give them exercises so that they can practice more and more, because it is always said practice makes everyone perfect. Offer very little to the trainee in the form of encouragement, praise or reward is a no-no. Why? Because if you are able to encourage them, if you are able to praise them and reward the trainee, he will be more interested to give his best in the training session as well as his job. So for that reason, you should ensure that the employee is being encouraged very nicely. Even a small reward will also do if he performs better in the training sessions. So these are some things which are like don'ts and do's if your training has to be effective. So here are some key areas where training is actually being, for what reason the training is actually being provided. So we already know what are these. The training is given to actually enhance the knowledge of the employees. Knowledge in the sense how to what I can say, how to take decisions, how to make decisions, how to solve the problems. So for such kind of reasons, knowledge is very much necessary for the employees. Then we have these technical skills, something like I can say computers. Okay, so something like operating a machine, something like handling a computer, how to operate on a computer, or how to work on a programming language or a software. So these are some technical skills. Then we have social skills. Social skills is more about understanding themselves and understanding others and trying to communicate with other people in the organization. So it is more about attitude of the employee towards his job, his himself, his other peer group, as well as the management of the company. That is what is the social skills expected from an employee. Then technique. Technique here I can say uh, how you react in various kinds of situations on the job. So that is what talks about technique. Let us say there is a problem in the organization. There are two employees, A and B, employee B. So both the employees have different approach to solve that problem. So such kind of situations are also there. So here you try to teach them techniques as to how easily and quickly they are able to solve their issues or problems and be committed to the organizational activities. So these are some areas where training is being provided to the employees. Okay, so what are the various types of training which are being provided to the employees? Let us try to understand few of them. Types of training and methods of training are different. We are discussing about types of training right now. So skill training is the first one. We'll try to discuss that. Skill training is like basic skills like reading, writing, computing, speaking skills, listening skills, presentation skills, problem solving skills. These are skill training sessions. We have refreshers training. It is the simple short-term course, especially for the employees who are already working in the organizations, but they want to understand what are the latest developmental activities or developments going on in their respective fields. Even for faculties or teachers, the government or the AICT and UGC, they conduct refresher training program. For what reason they conduct? Because the faculties should know what are the latest things happening in the industry, what are the latest things happening around in the teaching professions. So to update the faculties or the teaching fraternity, refresher training programs are being given by the authorities. Then there is cross-functional training. It helps the employees to perform their operations in other areas other than their assigned job. So we were discussing in the previous session regarding replacement of an employee. See what happens whenever that I have told it already. Whenever there is an employee who is absent or who has left the job immediately or who has got transferred, you cannot stop the work in the organization. Okay, that the work has to just go on. Somebody should be there to perform his or her task in the absence of that person. So for that reason, you should prepare your employees by giving cross functional trainings where you train them on other areas of the department, so that whenever a person is absent or he's not there in the department, somebody can take up his responsibility and complete the task. So for that reason, cross functional training is being helpful. Team training nowadays is becoming very popular, where companies are spending huge amount just to ensure that their employees are having that team bonding. They communicate well as team. They can handle the conflicts. They can handle the problem situations by themselves. So team training is given for such kind of things. Creativity training is more given to make the people think out of box. Unexpected, let us say unexpected problems are given to them, and they have to find out the solutions. They may also go for breaking the rules, take risks, go out of box and try to come out with very unexpected solutions, which can really help the organization to flourish. Diversity training, it mainly focuses upon uh, trying to be more harmonious, try to build better work relationships among the employees of the organization. So you know that MNCs especially have a very diversified workforce. So for such kind of people, the kind of this diversity training is being provided. Literacy training, uh, it's more related to reading, writing, basic skills, arithmetic skills, addition, subtraction, or something like that. So this kind of training programs are normally given at a D grade level employees, wherein they may not be able to read and write also. So for such kind of people, literacy training can be provided. So here are few examples how training is being given in few organizations. So Monsanto India is a company which is into seed and plant business. It also is into manure and growth stimulators for especially crops. There are more than 300 plus or employees working in that organization, and their global sales is more than 5,000 dollars. Uh, Monsanto sets a very stiff targets for its employees, but at the same time, it trains its employees with a rare rigor so that they get a fair shot at those. So whatever targets are being set by the Monsanto India company, they are easily able to, the employees are easily able to achieve those targets. Why? Because a very unique combination of training is given to the employees, and every employee after the training program is able to get a fair shot at those targets. People identified as future leaders are given internal international positions also in the organization, especially Monsanto India. P&G company, we already are very familiar with Procter and Gamble, with almost over 750 crore sales, with a powerful brands like Vicks, Tide, Ariel, Pantene, Whisper, Pampers, Head and Shoulders kind of brands. P&G relies more upon promoting from within philosophy. It hires people directly from B schools, especially reputed B schools, and trains them so thoroughly that they are empowered to handle the challenging jobs from the day one. A new recruit says, I was just a 2 month old in the company and I had already given an opportunity to handle the whole brand launch itself. So such is the kind of a rigorous training given by Procter and Gamble for its freshers. Thank you, friends, for today's session. If any doubts, you can always contact me on my email ID or phone number.